Peace, love, and divine light to you, beautiful souls. This is Caprel, coming to you from a different location today. If you've been on my YouTube, you know that I'm normally inside of my office. And yes, I don't have my tripod, so there will be some movement today. But I wanted to do a follow-up and a touch-up on some things with you all. So I had posted a couple of videos, 4 to be exact, and I have another one I'm going to post today about grounding, because that's really going to be important for what I'm going to talk about. But I posted a couple of videos, and we were on this journey of raising your vibration and things you can do. And I gave you all enough tools. I had loads more that I wanted to give, but these last 2 weeks, I have been energetically bogged down. Aside from, like, I had family coming in town I was preparing for, a birthday celebration, and of course, you know, tons of other life stuff, keeping up with finances and whatnot. And of course, you know, when you're doing videos, it's kind of like donated time. You know what I'm saying? I had 0 time to donate, but I do love y'all. Just saying, all of those that tune in, I love you all to pieces. I just want to be very clear with that. Okay, now, the video I'm going to post today is going to be about grounding your energy, and how to do so appropriately. I was going to do one on the sun. However, I won't be doing that right now, considering that we're going to have the solar eclipse that is coming up. And that's what I really, really, really want this video to kind of be focused on at this moment. We're going to get to that in just a second. Okay, so I posted a few videos at the beginning of at the top of the year, we'll say that. So of course, some of you are here from the Kali Yuga video, and I talked about the destruction of things that had to happen in order for us to go into the next level. But then there would be that golden gate that we would be able to cross into to bypass the chaos. Okay, so what the point of me doing the Raise Your Vibration videos was to help everyone prepare, because this was the instructions as per source energy, was that we needed to prepare our energies to be able to get into that alignment. So a lot of what we've been doing has been not just raising our frequency, but getting ready, getting our physical bodies, our vessels ready so that we can handle the energies that were coming our way. I also did another video of a dream that I had that they gave me just after the Kali Yuga video. All these videos, you can go back and watch them, and please do, because maybe it'll make more sense to you later. But inside of this dream I had, when I was being shown that there was a main event that everybody was coming for, and it was a solar event that everybody was coming for, that there was something hidden away, and that the real event was being hidden away from the public. Okay, so if you've been keeping up, there are so many different outtakes and takeaways and insights and predictions in regards to this eclipse. And as I sit and meditate with it, I have heard from source energy that all of them are just perspectives. They're all correct. There's no wrong, there's no right, it's all perspectives. Because what this all comes down to is where your mind is at during, after, and of course before this eclipse takes place. So in preparation, y'all know I get tongue-tied. So yeah, in preparation for this event, this is why we needed to raise our vibrations so that we would be in the right mindset to move forward. Not only that, we have to recognize that darkness and light coexist, right? And in that coexistence, or existence rather, we have to choose which side of the tracks that we're going to be on. So if you're going to remain in light, then that means that you have to constantly work it out. Just the same way you go and you work out your body at the gym and you get that vessel strong, your spiritual vessel has to be just as strong. Now, for the most part, we know this. We know we have to work out our bodies. We know we have to work out our minds. We know we have to work out our spiritual vessels. I think, though, that in today's time, our spirituality goes by the wayside, you know, especially that people are awakening to some certain truths, you know, whatever your truth may be. because everyone is having a different view of the perspectives of truths, and they're all correct. Listen, one thing about universe that has been very clear, that nothing is wrong. Just because someone sees it this way and that person sees it that way, most times, 9 times out of 10, it's the same view. It's just from a different angle. It's just from a different perspective. So you can't discount it as it's wrong. Okay, so in the awakening part, because we're going through the Great Awakening, we got the Great Conjunction, we got the Great Reset, we have the Great Shift. We have all these things that are going on. This is why it's such an amazing time to experience this, because all of them going on at once has never really happened. Okay, so in this shifting, in the awakening, and that's really what this channel is about, is helping people through their soul awakening, right? So I guess that's like where I interject here. My name is Dr. Kepler L, Doctor of Metaphysical Sciences and Doctor of Divinity, and my purpose here on earth is to help people awaken their soul, get on the path that is destined for them, fulfill their purpose, fulfill their divinity, but also to activate their gifts. And let's talk about activating gifts at this juncture, right? Because this is what I have learned that this event is more so about. However, darkness and light lives together. So therefore, darkness is going to have its part too. What is the key to this, though, is that you do the work, you maintain your pace, you maintain the work of the soul, of the mind, of the heart, ouch, and of your growth, right? So that when our Christ conscious gifts start to come online. If we go back to the stories of Christ, he had many gifts that he was trying to show us we were capable of. This is why he said in the books, in the sacred texts, he said, what did he say? I was about to say it and I lost it. But you will do these things and more, essentially is what he said, right? And so now we're coming to that time. That return of energy that he embodied is coming online with us. Our Christ energy is coming online. Now, this is what people have said, Christ is returning. It's not his actual return, I believe. It's more of our return. We share the same energy. He was the brother and the son for a reason, the same way we are the daughter and the son of God. We are siblings, right? And so our older brother showed us the way, and now it's our turn to take the way, to show the way. However, darkness has controlled this realm for so long. There is an absolute of desire for them to stop things from happening. And this is why I said darkness is going to do their best to slow it down. It's really important for you, though, to gain and acquire whatever it is that's meant for you in this path. Now, if you are doing the work, it'll be easier for you. If you're absorbing yourself inside of like social media and television media and, scurrying in the midst of this, then you will be choosing to live inside of the chaos instead of the higher pathway. So it's really, really, really important that you make a conscious, forward conscious, and intended decision. At least today, okay? So the choice is, of course, yours, right? That's what the free will of existence that we were gifted in coming into being was all about. The will to make a choice, the will to live by that choice, and that no one can stand in the way of that. So, in respect for your choice, you can choose to hear what I'm saying, you can choose not to. Just please be mindful in the comments. I do want people to make their own choices and decisions here. Definitely leave some feedback on how you feel things have been going. Just be mindful of others, right? Because I think we've gotten into social media and we trample other people's thoughts, beliefs, freedoms, and we've got to really stop that. Inside of this next era of existence, there has to be more love and more respect of will and choice and the innate freedoms that we come with that has nothing to do with what our governments provide us, right? So I'm thinking about some of the things I've said. I'm like, are they going to strike me for any of this stuff? I hope not, but so be it. Okay. So, the eclipse. If you go back to the Tale of the Two Worlds video that I posted, that was about a dream that I received in 2020. And I received a plethora of dreams in 2020. I had a firestorm of dreams that was provided to me in 2020. That was what I know now in hindsight, preparing me for what was to come. And so far, 90% of those dreams have happened in various degrees. If you remember the story of Joseph, I remember the play Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, which was one of my favorite songs and videos and all that jazz. I had a little birdie that's been popping up, and he's been watching me in this video. This is interesting. Okay, anyway. So what I'm talking about, my favorite. So if you remember the story of Joseph, he had dreams constantly, and they were always symbolic. And so I've always had these like symbolic dreams that I've had to dissect and work through, but they were always foretelling. Okay, so I was on here to take a walk for a bit, get some sun. Let me pull my face out of the screen. Yes, so as I was talking about the dreams, so go watch, if you can, please, the Tale of Two Worlds, how I was provided a purview of what it looks like in the chaos world before the great split, which is another great thing that we're going through. We're going to talk about the great split in a second. But in this dream, I was experiencing all the wires. I was experiencing the world in the darkness and in the light. I experienced both sides, and I noticed that it was a perspective of the mind, essentially, et cetera, et cetera. So in that video, though, I talk about how the world that we're currently living in is dying, right? And so some people were very much like, it seemed like a morbid video. And the fact of it is, everything has to die in order to be born again. Everything. This earth is no different. Every culture has spoken of different experiences in different realms dying and becoming born again. Okay? This is no different. We're just born and we are experiencing it now. But we have to be aware of that and stop being in the fear of death. Because one thing that was so profound that Spirit said to me recently is that with death is the opportunity to be born again. So then why do we fear it so much? Right? So whatever is going to die around us, we have to be ready for the birthing. And this is where the new earth is going to come in. This is where the splitting is happening. This is why we're seeing all of the earthquakes, why we're seeing all of the natural breakdowns, what am I trying to say? The natural occurrences that are happening, not just the earthquakes, but the floods. And Mother Earth is going through her birthing pains, and she's bringing us a new experience to adventure in. But we have to have ourselves ready. She is also birthing us, right? We have to allow ourselves to birth into that new level of self. Okay? And this is going to be optional. This is going to be a choice that you will have to make. But I need you to make that choice out of wisdom and not out of fear. Make your choices instead out of knowing that there's great things coming in the aftermath of all of the labor pains that humanity is going through. We are all experiencing on various degrees. We are all having our own birthing. We are all having our own experience. But it's really important that you say, this is where I choose to be, and manifest what that looks like for you. So today it's really important that you sit down and write out what your future looks like. All the details, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, environmentally, what does that look like for you? All right, so that's your task for the day, if you don't mind. my fellow people, my fellow humans, my fellow gods and goddesses that are here having this human experience. And that's the part we have to remember. We have to remember our divinity. We have to remember our greatness. And speaking of divinity, I am launching a podcast. I hope you guys are on board with it. It's going to be called Walking in Divinity. I missed my deadline of March the 31st, so I have to create a new deadline. But I will be launching it soon, so please stay tuned for that. Walking in Divinity podcast will have its videos, but then I'll also be doing more teachable kind of videos like this one and like the ones previous that are not so podcast centered, right? So broadening some things there in the perspectives of, okay, that's so much better. Broadening my my net, so to speak, okay? But going back to what we were talking about, really, really, really important that today you all sit down, like make a vision board, a vision for your future. Tomorrow, please, I'm going to be putting up two things, okay? First thing I'm going to be putting up is a frequency playlist that you all can listen to, kind of chill out to as you're doing your vision board today. You can play this as long as you need. It does have some things that's going to be entangled inside of it that is going to help you to raise the vibrations of your home. The bee scared the crap out of me. I don't know why, because I am so aligned to bees, but she crept up on me like, yeah. Okay, anyway. So embarrassing. Okay, anyway. So listening to your music while you do your visualizing, you're intentionalizing, and you're grounding, because that's the video that's going to drop today. It's going to talk about grounding. Really, really important that you are grounded in the midst of all of this energy that is influxing our cipher. Okay, my shoulder got locked up. All right. So we're going to talk about very briefly now the great split and the conjunction that is happening as well. All right. So the great split. So back in 2020, I really started really heavily feeling the great split. I kept having visions in all of the different readings that I had with people and that I was providing to my clients of the split that was happening, and I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. And then I started seeing videos about it, and I started to understand it a little bit more. Anyway, it has become a part of my mental dynamic of what's happening. I completely can't see past it. Okay, so the split is where the old earth dies off. It continues its dying off, but the new is birth, and we have, again, the option to live inside of that new. Now, that's what the great split is that I was talking about, the conjunction. In 2020, we had a great alignment, a planetary alignment in conjunction. And so I've heard, I'm not an astrologist, by the way, but I've heard that we also are having a similar conjunction that is going on right now. So that's very telling to me. We started this whole ride in 2020. We're now ending this ride in 2024 with another conjunction. Now, another dream that they gave me back in 2020 was telling about how all that we were going through wouldn't end until 2024, until spring of 2024. And so here we are. We are now going through the ending stages, right? We have another eclipse that will be happening in October, September and in October. Remember, if you don't know this, solar seasons happen in pairs, if not trios. So being mindful of that. If one starts, it's going to end with another. Okay. Now, these solar events and these lunar events are not the events that we were speaking of before in the previous videos that are the hidden events, but they are a part of the opportunities, right, to advance ourselves. So this is why we have to prepare. As far as the actual hidden event that was told in that one particular dream, I've heard it's more like in December. So we have to prepare for that, which is somewhere around the solstice era, where the end the end will really be. Okay. Now, just for clarity, I don't mean the end like the end, this is the end, right? It just means that at the end of all of the ruckus and the chaos that this world has been experiencing. I think that we still have some more to go inside of this, some of us. But the more you stay inside of a higher vibration, the more enjoyable it can be for you. And those mothers who have given birth understands this. You know, there's two different perspectives of giving birth that can be had. One that you enjoy and one that you hate. So I have 6 kids, so therefore I know the varying degrees. And one of my most easiest ones was unassisted, and it was my perspective that helped me through that. So I won't go into all of that further, but let's keep going. And I apologize if this seems like rambling to any of you. Now, what I want you all to really, really, really focus on. Focus on the gifts that you've always already had. Through the years, you all have had some kind of special gift that you didn't know how to utilize, or you do know how to utilize. I really want you to focus on that during tomorrow. I would love for you all to pay attention to the second part that I'm going to post. So I thank you for tuning in today with me, taking you all on a journey with the sun, which I so love. Solar gazing, which is a great way to raise your frequency. And I said I wasn't going to go into that. Please, you guys, I'm not saying I want you to go out and solar gaze tomorrow. It's really important for you to go within and do the work there tomorrow than it is to go outside and see anything. Trust me when I tell you. And stay tuned. Yep, share this with people, please. Really, really, really important. Because I think the more people that are aware can be prepared in the way they see fit, but then having as much information and wisdom and knowledge will help you as well. Will help them as well. Excuse me. You're already here. So, sending love to you all, as always. Capra.